How's your exercise routine going? Is it going? Are you going? Or is it passing you by while you're laying on the couch? What about if I told you that exercise only counts for about 10% of weight loss? Would that make a difference to you? The word itself, exercise, sounds kind of bad, like something very regimented. I mean, I just get these old black and white images of people lined up in rows doing jumping jacks, or just something very militant and not very enjoyable. Pamela Nance Lee here, certified wellness coach and expert in diet-free weight loss. And what I am here to talk to you about today is to give you some tips on how to get excited about movement, about play. I don't even like to use that E word because it just sounds awful. It doesn't sound like something you want to do, especially if you haven't been doing it. It's like, yeah, I've been a couch potato for 2 years now, and I really am going to start this exercise program. No. So if you remove that piece that says exercise is for weight loss and realize that exercise really is about pleasure. I know that some of you are like, what is she talking about? Pleasure? It really is about pleasure. And it's a shift in our mindset that needs to occur so that we can experience it as pleasure and get away from this idea that exercise needs to be hard, punishing, horrible, something that you really don't like to do. No, if you are into those extreme exercises like CrossFit and ultra marathons and Ironman and stuff like that, you're probably in it because it brings you some sort of deep satisfaction, and you're probably not watching this video because the title of my video, Exercise Does Not Have to Be a Drag. People that are doing Ironman and CrossFit, they don't think it's a drag. So it is a mindset. So some tips for you. First of all, really understand that exercise is not for weight loss. You need to remove those two. There's actually only one exercise that works for weight loss. Have you heard of it? It's called the fork curl. Only the less of them you do, the more weight you lose. Weight loss happens with eating less food. So let yourself off the hook with the exercise piece. Stop trying to outrun your calories because you can't do it. So know that, get that in your being, and then say, okay, if I'm not gonna outrun my calories and I'm gonna lose weight some other way, what would I do for exercise? If you're not sure, the first place to look is to go back in history, back into your childhood, and see what you like to do when you were young. Usually like before age 10, because 9 or 10, that's when we started really taking on a lot of the pressures, peer pressure and societal pressure, and who we should be, and really thinking our hormones kicking in, thinking about how our body looked, all that kind of stuff. So look back. Did you love to jump rope, jump on a trampoline, ride your bike, swim, climb trees, roller skate, bounce on one of those pogo stick things? What did you like to do? Did you like playing sports? Did you play flag football or baseball, or one of my favorites, what's it called? Tetherball. Oh my God, basketball. I loved all of that stuff. So that's a good place to start. And another good place to start is to look at what have you wanted to do? What have you seen other people doing, but you haven't let yourself do it because of your thoughts about your body? So have you been looking at maybe like rock climbing looks fun, or kickboxing, or surfing, or maybe some cross-country skiing, or some rollerblading? I mean, it's really endless. Zumba, dancing of all kinds. It's really endless. I mean, the ways that we can move our body and the pleasure that can be derived from that is endless. So next, after you've looked back into your past and you've looked at what you've thought others are doing that looks fun, pick something. Just pick something. It doesn't have to be the exact right something. Just pick any of those things that sound fun to you, okay? Then you need to start the very next morning after you've picked. Start visualizing yourself doing it, and do it in a kind way. See yourself wearing an outfit that you feel good in and that fits you well, is comfortable, and that you have the right shoes on, and see yourself doing it. Spend, a good few minutes, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes before you get out of bed, visualizing yourself doing this new fun activity. That's step 1. The next step, if you need to take a lesson for said activity, say if you're gonna go rock climbing, you need to go to the gym first, to the rock climbing gym, and get a lesson. Or surfing, you need to find a coach, or you need to find a friend to go with. Don't just go out there with a big old board and some waves and think that you're gonna have a great time. You need some help with that. I did that. I learned that lesson the hard way. I thought I could snowboard because I knew how to surf. Well, I didn't surf that well, and I snowboarded even worse, and I did not get a lesson, and I rolled down the hill I probably made myself do it a dozen times, and felt like I had been hit by a train for 3 days afterwards. I mean, I'm lucky I didn't break something. So be smarter than I was and get a coach, or get someone that you know that does it, and get some help with that. Then the next thing is to realize you might not be good at it right off the bat. All of those things I named, rock climbing, rollerblading, surfing, skiing, those things take a while for most people, unless you're just super athletically gifted. Those things can take a while to get good at. So just realize that you're not going to be good at something right out of the gate, and not to let it discourage you. So many of us want to do something well right off the bat, and it's just not going to happen. So just go into it prepared. I mean, not be thinking like, oh, I'm going to be awful at this, but just go into it prepared and know, like, this is a process. I'm learning a new skill. And then lastly, find other people who are doing it and make it social. The more things that you can add in to make it a pleasurable experience, so you'll have it's outdoor in nature, and you've got friends you're doing it with, and you've taken a lesson, so you're getting competent at it, and you're doing an activity that feels fun to you. The more things that you can sort of layer on top of it to make it enjoyable for you, the more likely you are to continue in your pursuit. And just know that you've got the rest of your life to try new things. And if one really sticks with you and you love it, then keep doing it. But don't be afraid to add new things in. You don't have to just stay with the same thing. This is one of those things that we do as a human, where variety really is the spice of life. I mean, it's just so great to figure out all of these different ways you can move your body and find enjoyment in that. And there are so many benefits to that. I did say earlier that exercise is not responsible for weight loss for the most part, because we cannot outrun the calories that we eat, but it is responsible for moving your lymphatic system so that you can remove toxins by sweating. Breathing, oxygenating brings fresh energy into your body, helps with your cognition. It helps with your respiration. It keeps your heart strong. It lifts your mood. It ups your endorphins. It's one of the most satisfying things that you can do as a human, is to have a regular practice of movement and play. So start now. Start thinking about what you're going to do and make a plan in your mind. The more that you can plan this out and seed it in your being, like, I'm doing this, I'm going to do it. And then take the steps, break it down into baby steps. Make a phone call to someone that you know who's already doing it. Call the sporting goods store and see if they have some used rollerblades. Get online and find out where a bike path is that you could go rollerblade. Set a date on your calendar. That's most important. Set a date for when you are gonna go do it, and go do it. And if you haven't been doing anything for years, then I would suggest starting out mildly with a nice walk. That's always a great go-to, and one that I do daily. So get out there and enjoy yourself, and realize that movement is not a drag. The word exercise is a drag, but movement and play, those are part of the best thing about being human. So get out there, go do something. All right, I'll talk to you soon.